Suicide Squad Isekai episode 5, in which the Suicide Squad fights a dragon and Harley becomes a mother. Yeah. So we start off this episode with the Suicide Squad at the gates. So for most of this series, they've been trying to locate the gate so that they can reset the timer on their neck bombs. And this episode starts with them immediately at the gate. So we kind of kill off that tension. I mean, the gate is like up in the sky, and so the gang is like, "How are we gonna get up there?" And they say, "Well, let's just hope that we're close enough to the gate so that the resets will reach us." And Peacemaker does a little countdown, and the bombs get reset. I thought they were gonna like kind of drag this out for a little bit longer because in the last episode we still had like 12 hours or so before the bombs go off. But no, they just kind of start off this one immediately with the bombs being reset, and now they're fine. Which I don't know. It's one thing like okay, we got that all taken care of, so now we can just go back to the story. But another thing is you could have dragged this out a little bit more, where you could have had the squad fight the advanced squad. So basically, Harley's group is like the second squad to come in here. Rick Flag originally was sent here with Katana, Ratcatcher, the Thinker, and Enchantress. You could have had like a scene between Harley's group and the advanced group, and during that, like their bombs are counting down, and they're the only ones with the bombs because the advanced group didn't have one. So you could have had that whole like dramatic tension going during the fight, but no, they just kind of fixed that up right now. So I mean, I guess they can always bring it back since now the timer just got reset. It didn't get completely destroyed. So now they have 72 hours to do their mission. So after the timer gets reset, we have just like a really weird montage where we see CGI of the map of the world and Harley's pawn and the other group, the humans, Cecil's army, I guess I should say, like marching through the map, overlaid with little cuts of the group fighting. So we see like the group fighting goblins and orcs and stuff like that. Kind of weird to just completely cut out most of the journey and just have it be a super quick montage. But I get it. They're just trying to just get to the good stuff, kind of trim out the fat, just get to the meat and potatoes of the story. So yeah, we get that. And then after the montage, the group is chilling out in a mushroom field, and basically Deadshot is complaining that he's out of ammo. They have no more ammo to spare. He's super pissed off because he basically says that he's useless without any ammo. And then we have like a quick little gag where Deadshot is like complaining about how he was a bit frugal with the ammo and that he should have not gone a little bit overboard with it. And then we immediately cut to Harley, who's like in front of him, like laughing it up, and she pulls out her gun and she shoots like a heart into a tree. And Deadshot's just like, oh my god, because like he was just complaining about ammo. Meanwhile, Harley had ammo and she just wasted the last of her ammo to shoot a heart into a tree. But yeah, they realized, hey, Deadshot, Harley, and Peacemaker kind of rely on ammo for their weapons. I mean, Clayface is fine because he doesn't use guns, and King Shark is fine because he doesn't use guns, but the rest of the group uses guns. So they're like, okay, we need ammo. What are we going to do? And that's when Rick Flag is like, well, I came with the advanced group. Before the group turned traitor and went to the Empire, we still had a huge cache of weapons and gear and supplies and stuff like that. So assuming everything is still there, we can just go and grab that. So that's what they decide to do. Except Harley wants to make a quick stop to the previous castle that they were at, where the orcs were now on their side, the prison orcs. She wants to go there so that she can take a bath. They journey back to the castle where the orcs are partying it up because Cecil left like a bunch of alcohol for the group as like celebration for fighting in the battle, even though they didn't really fight in the battle because, well, Deadshot kind of took care of all that. So yeah, I thought this was going to go somewhere, but it ended up not. What I mean by that is we had the orc talking about how Cecil left them this alcohol and it was like from the queen. And I thought, okay, they're going to poison that alcohol, aren't they? Like, The entire human army has not been portrayed as good in any way. They seem to kind of be evil. I'm kind of wondering if maybe the Empire is actually supposed to be the good guys, because the humans aren't portrayed as all that nice here. I mean, the only actual good people in the human kingdom would be the princess and Cecil. Like Cecil's not bad. He just kind of has a stick up his butt. But yeah, I thought they were gonna like poison the orcs, and then that's when like Harley's group realizes that hey, maybe we're on the wrong team. But no, they didn't do anything like that. So yeah, we just have them partying it up with the orcs. And before the group leaves the next day, Harley requests that they give her a giant frying pan because she needs a weapon other than guns, since bullets don't last. And Harley's like, frying pan can kill anything. Like it kills a bunch of zombies in zombie movies. Like whoever has a frying pan is the one that tends to survive. I don't know what zombie movie she's watching where that's the case. I don't think I've ever seen a frying pan used in the zombie movie. Maybe I'm just brain farting, but I can't recall one. I've recalled a bunch of other weapons being used, but anyways, yeah, she's like, well, and if a frying pan can, kill zombies, then it can kill anything. That's just Harley logic for you. So yeah, she has a giant frying pan. And then we just get a montage of the group marching towards where the weapons cache is. And then along the way, we just have like Peacemaker and Deadshot constantly bickering with each other. King Shark getting eaten by a flower. So just a bunch of crazy shenanigans. And then eventually they reach where the helicopter is, only to find out that a dragon is using it as her nest. And so the group's like, well, what are we going to do now? We got to somehow get to that weapons cache, but there's a giant dragon that's defending it. Clayface tries to transform into a dragon, but that doesn't work. He turns into some like other weird creature, kind of reminds me of like a griffin. And then, of course, everyone else kind of makes fun of him. And then that's when the dragon eventually attacks the group. And I will say this for this episode. I never really had too much complaints about the animation. In fact, I think the animation has been pretty good for the most part. I'm not really a big fan of the whole CGI for the map. I think that's kind of takes me out just because it's so obviously CGI. But I mean, it's just used just to kind of show where the characters are, like where the players are on the board. It doesn't play a big deal into the overall story. But other than that, animation's been pretty good, except in this fight. The fight between the dragon and the Suicide Squad has a lot of weird animation moments that don't look very well. It looks pretty awful. I'll see if I can throw up some examples, but yeah, not the biggest fan of the animation for this fight. And the fight basically just goes with the squad trying to run away from the dragon. Eventually, the dragon scoops up King Shark and tries to fly away with him. Clayface builds like a wall to stop the dragon. Deadshot has one bullet left, and he uses it to shoot at the dragon in the eye, only for the dragon to close its eye, and the bullet just bounces off the eyelid. And so they're like, okay, well, we'll try to distract it. Meanwhile, Rick Flag, Peacemaker, you guys go and try to grab some weapons. Yeah, we have that. We have a moment where the dragon is like shooting fireballs, and Harley's like, okay, well, I got this giant frying pan. Frying pan can't get melted by fire because it's supposed to be used to fry food. So once the dragon shoots a fireball at them, Harley uses her giant frying pan to basically grab the fireball and launch it back at the dragon. And it doesn't really do anything. So Harley's is kind of like a sitting duck. Deadshot grabs her and tries to run away with her as the dragon's chasing them, until Harley basically stops Deadshot and says, I'm going to go get some weapons. And she chases after Peacemaker and Rick Flag. Eventually, the three get into the helicopter where there's a bunch of weapons and stuff. And Harley sees a rocket launcher. And so she grabs a rocket launcher and she throws it to Deadshot. There is a moment where the dragon is about to attack. When Clayface grabs its tail, Peacemaker kind of stands there, and the dragon sees him and stops, and that gives Deadshot the chance to use the rocket launcher to launch a rocket hits the dragon, and the dragon falls off a cliff and presumably dies. And I'm like, man, I feel kind of bad for this dragon, even before this moment. Because it's like this dragon's just chilling out at its nest, and then these dudes show up and just start wreaking havoc on it. I mean, imagine if you were just chilling out at home, and then all of a sudden these like people just showed up and started just messing with you. Like, that would kind of suck. Especially when it gets revealed that the reason why the dragon stopped attacking and basically hesitated long enough for Deadshot to shoot it was because the thing that Peacemaker had was its egg. So the reason why it got so defensive was because it wasn't just a nest, but it also had an egg, and it was protecting its baby. And so, yeah, again, I just feel kind of bad for the dragon at this point. It's like this dragon's just chilling out at home, making a nest for its young one, trying to be a good mom. And then these people show up and start trying to kill you. That's kind of messed up. Anyways, Peacemaker decides, hey, there's this giant egg. Let's make an omelet. I've never had a dragon omelet before. And of course, Harley starts freaking out. She's like, there's no way you can do that. She grabs the egg, and just as she grabs it, the egg starts hatching. And baby dragon is born. And the baby dragon, the first thing it sees is Harley. And so it assumes that Harley is its mother. So Harley now becomes the mother of a baby dragon. And she names it Arthur. And she's going to take it with her on this mission. And presumably she's going to try to bring it back to the real world. I can just imagine the chaos that Joker and Harley can do with a dragon once it eventually grows up. So, yeah, the group is journeying back on foot. They now have a bunch of weapons and armor and ammo and stuff. Harley has a new baby son. And they arrive back at the kingdom, the castle, that the orcs were chilling out, the prison orcs, only to see that all the orcs have been destroyed, possibly killed. The castle is completely gone. It's just nothing but rubble. And the Thinker and Enchantress are there. So we can just assume that they are the ones that wiped out the group and the castle. And yeah, it looks like we're setting up to have a battle between the Thinker and Enchantress versus the Suicide Squad. And that's how the episode ends. Overall, I enjoyed this. I think it was better than the previous episode. It had more like comedic moments, more little like sight gags. The fight with the dragon, while it wasn't the greatest animation, I enjoy fight scenes. Like, I enjoy battles and stuff. Like, when it comes to anime manga, like I usually tend to go towards like battle shonens, even though I'll read basically anything. It doesn't really matter, but I like stuff with a lot of like fight scenes and things like that. I was happy to see a fight scene here, even though it could have been better. So yeah, I'll say it's slightly better than the previous episode. Overall, like, I mean, I've been enjoying this run so far. I think it's really good. Best thing to come out of the comic book industry in this year, like between Marvel and DC. Best thing to come out in a while, I would say. Last good thing from Marvel was what? Guardians of the Galaxy 3. And the best thing out of DC was, oh damn, I can't even think. Well, maybe the Batman. But that came out like a year or so ago. So yeah, I would say this is like the best thing to come out of Marvel or DC in a good long while. It's entertaining, it's fun, I like the characters. I like the fact that they took a really just like kind of stupid premise and they're just having fun with it. Like, who ever would think of a anime series where the Suicide Squad gets isekai'd into a fantasy world and fights dragons? Like, that sounds really, really dumb, but it's entertaining as hell. I don't know. I like stuff like this. I like, we're just taking chances on things. Just go nuts with it. I also love the fact that Clayface, for some reason, is like a huge fan of isekai. And he's just like naming off the tropes. And he believes himself to be the protagonist of an isekai manga series. And so he's trying to like live up to the tropes that are in isekai. And everyone's just kind of looking at him like, what the hell are you talking about? So yeah, I'm just kind of rambling at this point. But this was good. I liked it. Again, the fight scene between the Suicide Squad and the dragon could have been a lot better. The animation was very, very wonky and just weird at times, and kind of subpar in my opinion. But overall, this is still a pretty good, fun series. And even though the fight scene could have been better, it wasn't complete garbage. So yeah, there's Suicide Squad episode 5. The gang fights a dragon, and Harley becomes the mom of a baby dragon. Hope you enjoyed, and hope to see you next time. Take care. Later. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, I still want to thank you for watching it this far, and I hope the next one is more to your liking. With that said, thank you once again, and I hope you guys and gals have a good one. Later.